Hello there survivors, welcome back to another build tutorial in ARK Survival Ascended. Today I'm going to show you how to build this Greek inspired warehouse or workshop building for your new Greek themed base, especially useful if you're jumping into the new DLC Astraeos. But of course, if you want to build this one anywhere else, you can definitely do so. You could also, of course, use different types of skins or different building materials to get this same design in different looks. But today I will be using mostly the Astraeos Custom Cosmetic set that you can download yourself client-side and use even on official servers. And as well, I will be using some of the Frontier skins. Now, it's important to note that there's actually 3 different skins for structures in that Astraeos Custom Cosmetic. So if you're ever not getting the right variant for a structure, make sure to check the other 2 and you'll find a lot more options are available. As always, if you enjoy seeing these build tutorials and you don't want to miss out on any more, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave suggestions for future builds that you would like to see down in the comments below. Okay, and of course, as usual, we're going to start out with a foundation. And in this case, we want to start by placing 5 foundations next to each other, like so. And then we're going to make this 13 long in total. So 4, 6, 8, 10, and 13. So quite a long building. And then, of course, this one is going to be 5 again. And then we can connect up this side as well, and that will get us the entire 5 by 13 middle of the build. So it definitely gives you a lot of room for storage and crafting facilities. And of course, now we'll fill in the entire foundation one by one to make sure that we have the ground we need to start building this building. All right, but we're going to add a little bit more to this. We're going to go in by 1, and then we'll add 3 foundations going outward. We'll go all the way to the other side, and on this side, the same thing, 1 to the inside. We're going to start this foundation, and then we can actually fill all this in. This will give us even more space, especially here on this first floor. And that just kind of allows you to get away with a bunch of storage so that you will not really run out of space when you need it. And on this other side, of course, we're doing the exact same thing to create that nice amount of space here. And there we go, completely filling in the foundation. So we end up with this, with a 5 by 13 in the middle, then going in by 1 on the longer sides, and then adding a 3 wide addition to the building, which gives us a lot of space to work with. All right, we can go here to the end of the building. We can go up with 2 pillars and of course connect them down below as well. And we want to connect in the beams here to that corner. Then we can go all the way along the side with some beams all the way, and of course we can do this side over here as well. We can add our 2 high pillars and connect them back down into the ground again. All right, then we want to find the middle. So after 5 foundations we should place a pillar, and then of course on this side it's the exact same thing. So we'll have this gap of 1 where we'll place pillars as well, just like so. And of course, we want to repeat this process on the other side of the building as well. So pillar there, then pillars around the middle here, just like this, and on this corner as well. Then we can take out our beams and we can start going around the side of the foundation all the way until we reach the corners. There we go. So that is some preparation for this side of the building. Then it's time to take out a window. Here in the middle one, we want to place a window. We're going to do a window right over here, right there, there in the middle. Basically, every other wall is going to be a window. And then, of course, here in the middle, again, same over here in the middle. And then every other one is going to be a window all the way around, and one in the middle here too. Then we can take out our normal walls. We can make these 2 high, and then the last one, actually we can make 3 high. Then on the side, everything is going to be 2 high. So we kind of just fill in the remaining parts of the wall all the way around like this. And then this part here as well, of course. This one is going to be 3 high again. And we want to repeat that process here on the other side of the building. So the one closest to the middle is 3 high. The rest is all 2 high. The side completely filling that in to be 2 high everywhere. Just like this. Going all the way around. There we go. And then, of course, this one is going to be 3 high again. Then we can take out our little quarter walls. We'll add 2 right there. We'll add 2 right here. And then the same thing on the other side of the building. 2 over there. 2 over here. And then we can take out our slope walls. We'll have 1 right there. 1 right here. And 1 right there. It looks a little bit weird now. But once we start skinning them with the Astraeos structures, it's going to be very nice. So we'll do the same thing over here. Create this little pattern. And once again, we're going to do the exact same thing here on the other side. So like this. And then here as well, like this. There we go. Now, there's a very important difference between whether you're playing on official or official settings or whether you're playing with collisions enabled. If you're not allowed overlapping, what you should do is just start your roof like this. You can even choose to overhang it on the outside, although that will take away a little bit of the dynamic shape of the building. So that is up to you yourself. And then you just kind of fill in the whole roof from side to side like normal. Using ramps, by the way. Using ramps, very important detail. But if you do have overlapping enabled, what you can do is add a little quarter ceiling in the corner. So now that we can snap the ramp to it, right through it. And of course, now it looks like it's going through the slope wall. But once we start skinning, this will fit perfectly. And then we do have a little overhang here on the side. Speaking of, we want to make sure that we add 1 more layer of roofs. And then these we can just connect going up all the way like that. And then we can start filling in the entirety of the roof all the way from the one side to the other side. And the concept is the same for official settings. It's just the fact that you can't overlap into the structure. So you'll just place the walls between instead. But yeah, everything else, the idea is still the same. Of course, we just fill in the whole side of the building with some ramps, which is going to turn into a lovely roof using the Astraeos Custom Cosmetic skin. So for now, we'll just fill all of this in all the way through. There we go. So that is what it should look like. It's got a nice little overhang on the side, which I like shape-wise. And then, of course, here on the other side, we can do the same thing. So once again, if you have overlapping, what you'll do is just snap it in right like that. If you do not have overlapping, you play in official settings, you just start with a roof or ramp right here, and you just go all the way to the end, just like this. So it depends on your settings, what you can do. And the only advantage of the overlapping is pretty much that you can do a little overhang here on the outside, which is quite nice. And then also for this side, all we got to do now is just go all the way to the other side with our ramps and fill in this entire roof, which will get that a nice little shallower slope, which I really love. And I love the fact that we are able to do this now with custom cosmetics. I wish these pieces were just in the game by default, but at least this is a nice little workaround to get some really nice and interesting and different types of roofs without having to have holes that are hard to fix with the normal structures. There we go, filling in all of this just like that. So then what we're gonna do is right next to where this slope wall is currently, we want to start with our quarter walls and connecting this all the way to the other side of the building. So just kind of following the edge of the ramps all the way to the other side, because otherwise it will create a little gap. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side as well. So we'll just continue these quarter walls along the top here all the way until we reach the other side like this. And of course, we also don't want to forget to place all the doors or windows into the windows all the way around, and might as well do that now. So just going around, adding them all in just like this. All right, that is mostly taken care of the two sides of the building, but of course there's still a big gap right in the middle. So let's get started on that, starting with some beams leading right there to these corners. The same thing here over on this side, leading those two ones to the corners. Then we actually want to take out the 3 middle foundations here at the end. We'll take quarter foundations and place them just like that. We'll do that on this side, but we'll also do that on the other side. And this is so that we can actually fit in a gate right in the middle. So we'll take out our stone foundations again, and now there should be 2 in the middle because of this new snap point that we created. Doing the same right here on the other side as well. Then we want to make sure that we have some thin pillars, 3 going up right next to those 2 foundations that we now added, like this. And of course the other side is going to be the same thing, 3 of these pillars going up like so. Now we want to have the second variant of the custom cosmetic skins and add them to these pillars. It's better to do them now because it's easier to reach these pillars. As soon as we start building around them, it becomes harder and harder, if not impossible, to get them on the right place. And this is just to kind of make sure that we don't get any gaps between the gate and the rest of the build. So first of all, we're going to add the gate right over here. And another one right over here on this side. We can of course add in the gate itself too, and right over here we'll do the same thing. Then we can continue these beams. So first of all, we want to place beams right there, just the one. The same right over here as well. Then we can take out our pillars. First of all, right underneath all of these, connecting them back to the ground. All right, and then we can take the pillars up. This one we want to take up right until where this one ends and meets the wall that we created. Then the other one right here, we're just going to take up all the way, and we're going to actually make it 2 higher still. So just like that. And then this one here on this end, we want to also bring up just like this. Right over here. Bring it up all the way to the same height. And then of course here on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. So this one is going to be as high. This one on the end is also going to be the same height. And then this corner is just going to go up to where we have the walls before us. Then we can take out beams. We can add in some beams right between these on the top layer like so. And we want to actually also connect these ones right here in the middle, just like this shape. Then on the side of the building, we can actually continue these pillars going all the way from this side to the other side of the building, just like that. And of course we can stick it out by 1 more. Then we can have our pillars, making sure that we also have them underneath everywhere here in these corners, just like that. And of course we can raise this all the way up to above that current beam, connecting these to the other side just like that. And then of course here we have the pillar going all the way down and into the ground. This one as well, that one too. This one goes up to the slope wall, and then this one in the corner goes the same height as the other one we have in the middle above the gate. Same thing over here, raising that one up and making sure that this one connects back up to where we have the beams. We can have the beam here on the front as well, connecting those 2 layers. And then all we need to do is bring the beam back over to the other side on this one as well. So there we go, all the way back to this side. Then we'll take out our pillars once more, and then after 1, 2, 3, we'll have a pillar going up, another one, a gap of 2. We'll have another one of these and another gap of 2, and we'll have another one like that. And that should be equally distributed over the side of the building. Then on the other side, we're going to do the same. So a gap of 3, we'll make a little pattern, and then a gap of 2, 1 right in the middle, another gap of 2, 1 more, and there we go. And then we can start on some walls. Right here on the side, we want to just take up the wall all the way to the top. Fill this in, but leave that one open. And then we're going to just follow this pattern. So every other wall, once again, at the bottom is going to be left open for a window. So we're just going to follow the pattern like this. Then we'll bring out our windows and add them in between those to fill in the rest of the wall. And of course, add in the window doors as well. And of course, here we take the wall all the way down, just as the other side. And then the other side of the building is pretty much the same thing. So we'll bring this up, and again, every other one at the bottom is going to be left open so that we can add in the windows later. So we'll just copy what we did on the other side, just like this. And of course, bring this side all the way down into the foundation. There we go. Bring out our windows, fill in those remaining gaps just like this. And then fill in the actual windows themselves. There we go. And then here at the front, we want to start by filling in this side all the way up. The same over here, all the way up to the top, just like this. And then above the gate, we want to also connect the walls back in. And then we have some quarter walls in between to connect to the gate. Other side as well, filling in them completely. Then over here, we want to start here with a quarter wall. Place 2. Same thing here on this side. We can have 2 normal walls right there in the middle. And then we can take out our slope walls and just follow the pattern like this. Again, looks a little bit strange now, but it will all make sense eventually. But we should have this pattern going on for the front of the building. And then what we want to do is add in some scaffolding in these corners as well, just to add a little bit more shape to it all. Then here on the other side, we can pretty much do the same thing. So we'll start by bringing up this wall all the way to the top. The same thing for the other side here. Bring it all the way to the top. Then connect this one above the gateway. Fill in our quarter walls, just like this. Same thing over here. Filling them all the way in. And then again, we can add in the scaffolding to the corners. We can take out a little quarter stone walls, place 2 of them right here, 2 of them right there. Some normal walls, connecting them in the middle, and taking out our slope walls to follow this shape like that. And on the other side, the exact same thing. There we go. So this should be the shape right now. As for these sides, what you can do, we want to add a layer of ceilings. You can decide whether you want to have just 1 layer or maybe 2 layers. You can also change that up if you'd like. So for me, one side I'm going to do the 2, the other side I'm going to do the 1. The reason why you would do 2 is just to give yourself a little bit more space. For example, when flying in with flyers and you want to land them right on this little porch. We'll take in our ceilings all the way. So we'll create a little layer like this. We'll start filling in some more. So we want to, for now, go in by 3 layers in total. Then on the side, we can actually connect them all the way back up to the other side of the building. And then also we'll fill in the first 3 layers for now. There we go. And then, of course, connect this all the way up to the other side. Then we want to add 1 more layer here and 1 more layer on this side, and then we'll keep going in like this. So 1 more here, 1 more there, and this way is to ensure that this gap is right in the middle of the base. For now, what we'll do, we'll start adding beams around this hole just like this to kind of make sure that it is clearly visible. Then we can take out pillars, connect them back up here to the ground just like this on all 4 corners. There we go. And then we can take out our wooden elevator track. You could also use a proper elevator if you want to automate it, but I mean, since it's Greek themed, this feels a little bit more appropriate. And of course, at the top, we want to make sure that we have the switch so you can actually control your elevator. And then we want to place the platform in like this, which will fit perfectly into the shape we've just created. Then quickly here on the inside, we want to at least add some scaffolding in the corners here at the front and at the sides, just like this. For the back, however, we're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're gonna have the scaffolding here on this side. We're gonna have scaffolding here on that side. And then we'll have a proper wall right there in the middle. The middle wall we can actually change to the frontier skin, as well as these pillars around it to bring in that nice wooden texture. And this should make it all blend nicely together as well. So we kind of want to go around the whole thing, making sure that all these pillars and all these beams for these elevator are changed to the frontier skins, which will fit in quite nicely. And it will also just look a lot better in my opinion. And then also for these ceilings here, we can change them all to the frontier skins. There we go, just like that. Now that we still have the light, it's a little bit easier to see inside before we add on the final roof, of course. So we'll change all of this to the frontier skins, just like that. Or you can, of course, use normal wood for the floors, but I would really suggest using these ones. Then we can take out our scaffolding and add some supports right like this underneath the smaller of the balconies. And then this one here on this side, it's going to be slightly different. In the middle, it's going to be the normal scaffolding. On the sides, however, we're going to start from the edge of the ceiling, just like this. And here, of course, the same thing. So just like that to really support that a little bit more. And this is again so that you can easily fly in, land, and then go into the top layer of the base. And the wooden elevator makes it so that we can easily move back and forth. Then we take out our little stone quarter ceilings and add them along the edge here of the building all the way until we reach the other side of this warehouse or workshop, whatever you want to call it or use it for, and all the way until the end. Here as well, we'll start filling in these little quarter walls or ceilings, I mean, all the way at the side of the building until once again we get to the other side of it all and reach the other wall. There we go. And then just to make it easier before we build on top of it, we can also skin these to be wood because yeah, I think that just adds a little bit of nice contrast with the Astraeos structures that we'll start using in a little bit. And of course on this other side we want to do the exact same thing, so just change them all to some nice frontier ceilings. Okay, for the roof, there's once again two options. If you're unofficial, take out your ramp and just start placing them like this, just following the shape of the building. And then you probably want to have the overhang on the outside, just a full ramp, just like this. Nothing too fancy, nothing too complicated. It looks still very nice and it works perfectly fine without having to have any kind of overlapping available. But if you do have overlapping, you can do the same effect but just a little bit more subtle. So what we do then is we snap it to this 1/4 ceiling at the ending. It will go through the slope wall, but if you have collisions enabled, we should be able to do that, and we can then just follow the roof line like this. And then of course the other side is the same thing. And once we've done that, it is of course just a matter of filling in the entire sides of the roof with the ramps all the way from one side to another. So you can just go ahead and do that for all of these and place a bunch of ramps. There we go. And yeah, for now, of course, the downside of building with custom cosmetics is that it's always going to look a little bit weird. You can choose to do the skins right away. But as you've seen in this one, I usually prefer to do most of them at the ending. Just makes it a little bit easier, especially working with a custom cosmetic where you have to switch to different skins every time. But yeah, for now, we'll just continue to fill in the roof all the way until we reach the other side. Almost there, just a few more of these and there we go. So we have a nice little roof on top of it, and at the top of the roof we actually also want to make sure that we add in some beams on top of it. So from one side all the way until we reach the other side, we want to have a beam going across. Okay, and then it's time to start adding the skins in. So first of all, we will take out the frontier structures and we'll start changing most of the pillars. So like this, we want to make sure that we have these frontier beams. And my rule is that everything above the foundation level will become this, including these beams. And then the ones below, we actually want to make in the Astraeos texture. So for now, we'll just follow these, just like that. Same ones over here, that one on the corner, and then this one right here. All is going to be frontier, so we'll do the same thing. We'll finish this entire front section of this build, change all of these skins to the frontier beams. There we go. So that is what the front is going to look like. I think it already helps setting it apart a lot more, of course. And then here we want to follow the sides. Again, everything above the foundation level is what we change to the frontier skin. So we'll go around the whole build and change all of these skins. There we go, just like this, all the way until we reach the top. There we go, these as well. All of these we want to change. So yeah, it's not very difficult. It's just being careful to not miss any. You can already see that starting to look better. And then of this side, we also want to change all of the pillars to the frontier skins. So yeah, just going around the whole build and checking we've done all of them correct. And then actually this top layer here of the walls, we're also going to use the frontier skins on, just like that. And then on the other side of the building, of course, the same is going to happen. We're going to do all of these pillars in the frontier style, just like this. There we go. And then the top layer of the walls also is going to be changed to this skin like that. Then only the side here at the bottom, of course, just repeating the same thing. Everything above the foundation layer is going to end up being a frontier pillar. And there we go. This is already making the build stand out a little bit more. You can see those details that we added in a lot clearer now, which definitely helps set it apart. Then there's one more layer for the frontier skin, which is, of course, this beam at the top. We also want to make sure that is a nice wooden beam going across the entire top of the roof. Oh, and before I forget, for the entrances, you can just add in some stairs. Maybe you're allowed to do some slope walls on the side. Sometimes you're not. That is, yeah, kind of depending on your landscape. And you can do that here as well, just so that we can easily get in and out of the building. Now, we're starting with the Astraeos skins, and we're starting with everything that needs to be changed to the first variant of the structures. First of all is going to be the entire gateway, just like that. And then all these little walls around the side is also going to be just this normal skin. Then the bottom layer here of these walls is also going to change. We can change that window, so we can go along the whole side like this. And of course, change all of these foundations as well, just like this. There we go. And of course, you want to change all the foundations on the inside too. Here on the front, what else do we want to change? Nothing for these walls. Then all the way up here, we want to change these quarter walls like that. Then it's probably easiest to go inside and change all of the foundations to this first variation of the skin to get that nice little marble effect at the top and the bricks at the side. So yeah, just going all the way around the build to change all of these and get that nice little look for the Astraeos skins. There we go. And yeah, for some reason, custom cosmetics only allow you to have one of the custom cosmetics on your hotbar. I really hope they change that at some point in the future. That would be really nice. But for now, we'll just have to make do like so. So we have to do it one by one. But I have found that doing this like mass skin changing is the easiest way, instead of during the build process constantly change back and forth between different skins. All right, then here on the side of the building, we also want to go all the way around and change all of these to this first variation of the skin, already starting to transform the look, especially because of course the windows have such different shapes in this skin. There we go. Then at this side, of course, we also want to make sure that we change the whole quarter ceilings or walls, and then also the gateway, these quarter walls as well. And don't forget these two and these two at the top. There we go. Then we can continue following along with these sides, just like this, all the way until we've been all the way around the building. There we go. Then we want to make sure that we change these little quarter walls on the side building as well. So these ones right here. On the other side here, these two. These over here. And then here on the side, we want to make sure that we change all of these windows. So not the main structures, just the windows themselves. For now, that will make them like a little bit weird and floaty, but that will be all right in the end, of course. So just like that. Then we switch to the second variant, and we can instantly do these stairs on both sides of the building and change them to some lovely staircases. Here on the front, we want to change these two skins to the second variant, and then these one at the top as well. Here at the side, we want to go all the way up until, of course, the frontier skin. We want to change all of these as well to fill that in. And we want to fill all of these ones with this skin, so all of them can be changed. All of this too, and this side again, bringing it all the way up. These two and these two, and then these sides here as well. And then, of course, continuing this here on this side. These all can change, and then the whole side here can also be changed to this second variant. There we go. And then we do this one, bring this all the way up, and then we should have circled all the way. Then we want to go to the sides here of the top layer, and we can actually change them all to this second variant, just like this, which is already starting to look nice. And we can actually also change this one to the second variant. Although if you prefer the third variant, you can definitely also use that, or you can go for the blanco of the first variant. But I personally like this little amount of extra detail to the side. Then, of course, we want to change all of these on this side of the building as well, just like that. And then all of these quarter walls here too. So just going around, adding this little pattern everywhere. There we go. We're certainly getting somewhere, and now we want to change the roof, or start changing the roof, except for the last one. We can change them all to this second variant. Going all the way across, bringing in these beautiful blue roofs, which really adds some color to the build, of course. There we go. That's already starting to look quite nice. We'll do the same thing here on this side of the building. Changing all of these to the second variant. There we go. And this is how you get the ramp, but still make it look like a roof, as you can see. That's a good start. Here at the top, also the two top layers, we want to change to this second variant. So all the way across, just like this, to change all of these skins. And then the same thing here on the other side, going all the way across, filling all of them in until we reach the other side of the roof. And then it's time to bring out the third variant. First of all, we can change all these pillars that are below the foundation level, or against the foundation level, just to still make them look nice, of course. There we go, all the way around. just to still get that nice look for them. And if some of the pillars are facing the wrong way, you can rotate the pillars after placing them by interacting with them if you want to. So for example, if you would want to change it, you can rotate it until it's like 90 degrees or even more rotated if you want to get the right looks for everything. Then here on the side of the building, first of all, we want to change these slope walls. As you can see, now it fits in perfectly. And then along the side, we can add in that last remaining detail, which has these cool little accents on the end. Of course, we want to change these as well. Taking on the other side, doing the exact same thing, of course, and finishing these side buildings like this. And all of those. Then this layer also gets this skin just like that, looking very nice and fancy. And in the front over here, we also want to add in the third variant everywhere to kind of finish that look, which is quite nice. And then we can go all the way until we reach the other side of the building once more. And then here on this front, we also want to change all of these so that we get the nice fitting front of the building and then, or the back of the building. And then these, all the third variant too. And of course, this edge of the roof we want to change as well all the way until we reach the other side again. There we go. And that should give us a beautiful look for this workshop slash warehouse in the Greek style with the Astraeos Custom Cosmetics and a bit of the Frontier skins, which really brings in a nice contrast and gives you a pretty decently sized building to use for all your storage needs, your crafting needs. As you can see, quite a bit of space in here. Got the big elevator platform to get upstairs, also with some tames, and we have the top layer as well where you can fly inside and everything. So yeah, it's definitely quite useful, I think, to use a design like this, and yeah, fits in quite nicely with the style. Let's then take a proper look at the one that I built. So besides the Astraeos Structures Custom Cosmetic, as well as of course the Frontier skin that we used in the tutorial, for decorating this I've used a few additional ones. I've used the Roman Custom Cosmetic, which is a premium one for the statues that you can see right in front. I've also used that custom cosmetic for some of the other structures, like creating braziers from standing torches, changing the look of smithies and forges. We've got Klinger's rustic structures as well for some of the other forges looks. We got the Western Deco mod for some decorations that we have inside, as well as visual storage for the storage systems and a little bit of decorations as well. And I think that is about it. So this is my workshop or warehouse, as you can see right here in the little Greek town that I'm currently working on. And yeah, I really like the way this one turned out. I feel like it's quite fitting and still holds plenty of room inside for storage, for crafting, and for your ARK survival adventures. So you can see outside here, we got these statues from the Roman Custom Cosmetic. We got some decoration from the Western Deco mod, as well as just some ARK vanilla stuff to kind of bring a little bit of life to this area. These braziers are pretty cool, currently not lit. We've got a little cage there as well as just some wood for decoration. And then inside here, we got quite simply decorated for now, but you can see how much space there is. You can actually fit in an industrial forge here as well, but for me, I wanted to stick to something that felt more in line with the Greek builds that I'm currently doing. But yeah, you can see there's plenty of space. This is a smithy with the Roman skin. We got some of the Western deco. These are the forges with that Roman skin, which look really cool in my opinion. And then we got some of the Klinger rustic forges, which are cool looking ones too. We got a feeding trough, some just random storage crates all over the place. And of course, a visual storage system set up at the other side. You could even have a layer of ceilings supported by some pillars above them. And then you could have another layer of the visual storage, or if you're not using that and you're unofficial, just normal storage crates or storage cabinets or vaults, whatever you're using, you can have quite a few of them in these side additions. And then if we would take the elevator up, we of course arrive to the next platform where we have more storage room. There's also definitely some room for some flyers on top here as well if you need to. And of course you have the elevator to easily bring them up and down. Then we also got some of the hay bales from the Western Decor mod just to kind of fill in this. But yeah, you can see how much space there is inside. You can definitely quite easily use this as a proper base and have a pretty decent amount of space without having to build something too complicated. And then this crane is a very nice addition. It's also from Visual Storage. Yeah, and there we go. That is the Greek warehouse or the Greek workshop using the Astraeos Custom Cosmetic structures, which is, yeah, a really nice build. I really like it at least, and I'm really loving working on this Greek town as well. So if you enjoyed the tutorial, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and feel free to leave suggestions for builds that you would like to see next or suggestions for things that I need to add in the town. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.